Alright, so in this first video we're going to show you how to set up all the basic settings and downloads that you need to get started on creating your VR game for the Quest 2. Any version of Unity is really fine. I just downloaded the most recent one. It has most up-to-date features. But once you have Unity downloaded, you'll need to add a few modules to it to allow the Android stuff. So you'll come to Settings and click Add Modules. You only need to do this once on your downloaded version of Unity, but you'll want these. These are the three I had to. Well, one, the Android build support, and then I downloaded two other ones as well. This takes some time to download. You'll need these downloaded for sure. And then if you haven't downloaded Visual Studio on your computer for some reason, you need that too to edit your code or whichever IDE you want to do that in. But these ones won't be downloaded by default, so get those. Alright, so once you have all that downloaded, you're ready to make a project. There is some debate in my mind about which one's the best one to use. I did start off using Universal Render Pipeline, but the current state of the hand tracking for Oculus isn't really supported under that, so I ended up having to change it to just 3D. So start with just 3D until Unity can update to make it work with the avatar hands. But for now, we're just going to use a 3D project. Name it whatever. Open it up. Alright, so you've opened your scene for the first time. This will be your default view that you have. All you have in the scene right now is a camera and a light source. We're not going to do anything with that yet. We're going to go ahead and do a couple of settings changes first. So the first thing, you'll go to Windows Packet Manager. So there's a few different packages we need to import, but also just so you're aware that in this package manager, if you download something from the Unity store and you want to get it into your, or Unity Asset Store, and you want to get it into your project, you'll come to this package manager and switch the tab to My Assets. And then whatever you have downloaded on your account will appear here, and this is where you can first, when it first comes, you'll have to download it, and then once it's downloaded, you can import it into your project. So this is where you'll do that. Any assets you download, you can bring them in there, and then they'll show up down here in your assets. But we're going to start with going under Packages and go to Unity Registry. And the first one we're going to download is Oculus XR plugin. So you want to install Oculus XR plugin. Alright, fairly quick. Once that's done, you'll want to make sure that XR plugin management is downloaded. I've tried it before, also including XR Interaction Toolkit, but the way I've gotten it to work is by not using it, so we're not going to download that. So just XR plugin management and Oculus XR plugin. If you have your packages downloaded, you're going to go up to Edit and go into your project settings here. Now you should have XR plugin management. Oculus should have come under that, but we're going to click on XR plugin management at first. Come on over here to the Android settings and click Oculus, and then also on the monitor side on the computer you can also check Oculus. So on these two tabs, check Oculus, and then you should see these settings in your Oculus tab now here. So once the project settings have been updated, you're going to go to File, Build Settings. And this is where we're going to change it from building on your computer to on the actual Oculus Quest 2, which is what we're using in this tutorials for. You'll also need the link cable, the USB-C cable to connect your Oculus Quest 2 to your desktop. There's some other settings within Oculus that you can ask me about, but they should be good at default to go. One is making sure that you're in developer mode. You might need to create an account for that, so if you have issues and that you're not already in developer mode, let me know and I'll help you. But that's something you'll check on the Oculus app on your phone. It's connected to your headset device. And then also once you plug in your Oculus headset to the computer, if you put it on, it'll ask you to like accept data passing basically. You want to make sure you allow that so that it can actually build. And then for our specific projects, we're using hand tracking. So that's another setting within the Quest 2 on the headset that you can change just in settings to allow hand tracking. So that Basically, you don't need the remotes and you can use your actual hands. But if you have any questions on those settings, let me know, and I'll help you get them. But anyways, in our build settings, we're going to select the Android tab and switch the platform so we can run it on an Android device, which is Quest 2. This may take a little bit. Alright, so once you switch to Android, you can come under Run Devices and your headset should appear. If not, make sure you've allowed the devices to transfer data when you put on the headset. The other thing you're going to want to change, so select that as your run device. The other thing you want to change is texture composition. I think it's ETC by default, but we're going to use ASTC. And then your build settings are good to go, so let's make something so we can actually build it. So we're just going to create a simple scene where you're using your hands. You can see your hands and stuff. So let's go in here. We're going to delete the main camera, and we're just going to add a 3D object of a plane that we can stand on. That's all our scene's going to do. One other thing I forgot to mention, and for assets, to actually utilize the stuff, you're going to want to go on the Unity Asset Store and download Oculus integration. So you will need this asset. Once you have it downloaded on the Asset Store, you'll come into Package Manager, change it to My Assets, and then it'll prompt you to download. Once it's downloaded, which I've already done, you'll click Import. Alright, so once you import, you might get some updates. This one is asking if the newer OVR plugin is available. If we want to use it, go ahead and click yes for that one. This one's asking if you're going to use OpenXR. We're not, so hit cancel on this one. Click OK. And it may prompt you to restart. Let it restart. And you can upgrade if you'd like. And restart. Make sure you save your scene, obviously. So once Unity's restarted and your scene's open, you'll see that under Assets you now have an Oculus folder. So this is all the integration stuff. So let's go ahead and add our main camera to the scene, which is the headset. So it's called OVR camera, and it says OVR camera rig. So that's just searching in the assets down here. Go ahead and drag and drop that into your scene. This is now the headset that has that's going to be paired with the Quest, so when you're walking, you'll be the camera. There is one setting if you click on OVR camera rig, you're going to want to change this tracking origin type over here from eye level to floor level. And then you are good for your camera. Let's go ahead and add our hands so we can see that in the scene. So you'll want to type in here OVR hand, and it says OVR hand prefab. You'll want to drag and drop this onto each hand anchor like this. And then for the left hand, all the settings are good, but for the right hand, you'll want to change everything from left in the settings over here to right. So in the OVR hand script, in the skeleton script, as well as the mesh script, change all the lefts to right. Alright, so now you should be able to go ahead and we're going to build this so we can just see ourselves that we have a camera in the scene in our hands. So to do that, we're going to go back to File, Build Settings. So every time you're going to want to run the game on your headset, you'll have to do this build setting things. There's other ways to do it. Other ways to do it. I know some are faster, but this is just the way that I've done it forever, and it works. And I don't want to fuck it up, so we're going to keep it like this. But you'll want to just go ahead and make sure your Quest is selected as the run device, and hit build and run. It'll prompt you for the first time to enter a name for the file. I just always call it build, and then save. And it may take a little bit this first time. The more changes you make, obviously, the longer it'll take then in between. But we're going to go ahead and build it now to the headset, and it'll automatically run on the headset if it's plugged in. But I'll go ahead and switch over to what the headset sees if it doesn't run right away. So if it runs right away, you're going to see a screen appear on your headset that says made with Unity, and then it's just opening the game. And then you'll be in the scene. So that usually happens. If it doesn't, I'm going to show you how to get to your game because it's downloaded on your headset now after this. And for particularly with our clients, they're not going to click the computer to run it, so they'll have to go to select the game in the headset. So I'll show you how to do that. Once it's built, I'll switch over to the headset view. Before you build it, there's one other setting I forgot to change. Back in OVR Camera Rig, you'll want to go ahead and scroll down to where it says hand tracking support, and you'll want to switch this from controllers only to controllers and hands. This allows you to both use the hand tracking and the controllers in the scene. Once that's good, then you can go ahead and build settings, build and run. Just keep overwriting your saves so you're not killing your data. And I'll catch you in the headset view. Alright, so once you're in your headset, I have hand tracking enabled. I'm going to show you how to do that. So if you go to your settings, and if you go to the top right, click settings, and then there is a category in here called hands and controllers. You'll want to enable hand tracking here, and also the auto switch, so in case you grab a remote, it'll switch the remote. But once that's all set up, your hand tracking is enabled. I'm going to show you how to get to your Quest game. If it should open automatically when you do build and run, but for our clients, they'll have to open the game. So if you go to your apps down here, and underneath all, select unknown sources, you'll then see our game here called demo, which is what we saved the project as. You can click that and it's going to run it. And there's that Made with Unity thing I mentioned earlier. And then you're in your scene that we made, and you can see your hands, the live tracking. Yeah, so that you now have a project that's fully compatible with the Quest 2, and we can go on now and start adding different features that'll actually be useful for us, for our clients.